Yo, what is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 gameplay video. So this week, one of the options for your Nightfall is the Corrupted Strike in the Dreaming City. And in this strike where you have to go rescue Sadia, and you're instructed not to kill her, and so you go and you shoot her with a bunch of bullets and somehow save her life, which seems kind of counterintuitive to me. But anyways, one of the things that you can be rewarded is the Horror's Least, which is a Nightfall specific pulse rifle, which carries the Dreaming City sort of aesthetic to it. It's a fantastic looking pulse rifle. It is a rapid fire frame pulse, and if you are not aware, rapid fire pulses did recently receive a buff, and they are pretty freaking good. A lot of people are using things like Claws of the Wolf right now, etc. So this is a really good pulse rifle. It was good before the buff. It's even better now after the buff. So this thing's going to be doing 24 damage to the head. That's basically 72 damage per burst if you're landing headshots. And the curated roll that you can receive is actually really freaking good. It's got Zen Moment on it, Outlaw, Extended Magazine as well, and a nice stability masterwork. So you can get a laser beam of a rapid fire frame 540 RPM pulse rifle that can kill in well underneath 1 second if you're accurate. Hey, this thing is really freaking good. I highly recommend with this season that you consider investing some time into farming this Nightfall and acquiring maybe a few different versions of the Horror's Least, finding one that works best for you. Make sure you get the right recoil direction, know whether or not you need to throw on a counterbalance stock or not. So increments of 5 is what you want. If you get a nice round number, then go ahead and put a target adjuster mod on it. Otherwise, throw on that counterbalance stock and try and get that recoil well under control. Once that recoil is under control, this pulse rifle absolutely shreds people in the Crucible. And I'm not talking just 6v6. It is good in 6v6, both skill-based matchmaking and otherwise. But I also took it into comp and had a fair amount of success running this pulse rifle in a competitive atmosphere, the 3v3 environment as well. And in addition to that, man, these pulses, these rapid fire frame pulses, especially this one because of its unique attributes and stat rolls, this thing shreds if you have a nice damage upgrade ability active. So I ran around with Weapons of Light and I melted people's faces off with this thing, and it was a whole lot of fun. Another option would be Inertia Override, things like this. Yeah, so Titans have basically anything a Titan can do. So you can buff your as a Titan, you can buff your damage by walking through a bubble. You can buff your damage by sliding over ammunition. You could buff your damage by punching someone in their stupid face. There's lots of ways that you can buff your damage output and then just melt people, absolutely schmelt people with this weapon. If you're on a different subclass, have fun with it. Anyways, no, I'm just kidding. It's good on all classes. But obviously, Titans have some other ways to increase the damage output of their firearms as well. Yeah, it's worth it, guys. It is worth it, especially since there's so many good kinetic shotguns out there, right? You could use an Imperial Decree. You could use a Dustrock Blues. You could use a sidearm like a Lonesome, which I love to use. My Lonesome is a fantastic firearm. You could use a Last Word in conjunction with this pulse rifle. Tons of options for close range when you're using this weapon in your energy slot. I highly recommend, guys, take the time, go into the Corrupted. I know that this strike is a little bit girthy. It's kind of long and a little bit of a grind. But if you get a roll worth keeping, you're going to be glad that you did it. I can guarantee you that. I know that I've actually used mine for a fair amount of time now. I actually had 2 really good rolls that I used for a while. Kind of swap back and forth between the two. Ended up sticking with this one because the recoil direction was a little bit more manageable without having to use a counterbalance stock. So I could swap in something else, a different perk. So I ran Icarus for a while, and I think currently there's a target adjuster mod on it. Hey, you can just swap them out willy-nilly at your leisure now that you don't have to like actually use up a mod. You know, you just kind of swap them around and use a little bit of glimmer. But anyways, check this gun out, guys. You will not regret it going into this season. It's going to be a great option to have one of these in your arsenal. So best of luck on your grind, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible. Bye-bye.